Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to episode 15 already of Bliss Tell, short-statured but long-winded. And as you can probably see, I have another new location this week. I'm in bed. I'm sitting in our bed. And there's a good reason for that. I'm not sick. See, I wouldn't wear a shirt if I was sick. I'm still wearing the shirt. But yeah, our flat is currently falling apart. The weather is having some bad. Like first in my writing office, because it's been so cold, so horribly cold in Hong Kong. There's air coming underneath the tiles, and they're like rising, and we can't open the door, and it's a mess. And then overnight we had a leak in the kitchen, so Caroline woke up to go to the bathroom, and her feet were wet when she crossed the hallway. So yeah, it's actually not funny, but you have to laugh. Anyway, our landlord is on it, he's coming to check it out this afternoon. So it's been raining so much, and first it was freezing cold, not freezing. Actually, it did freeze, it froze in Hong Kong last weekend. It never freezes in Hong Kong. So yeah, that's why I'm in bed, because I can't go into my writing office. And Caroline is in the living room, and I prefer to record this in private. So I should have her on the show sometime. So anyway, let's start the show. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes over here. I do prepare this show. So first of all, I'm running a giveaway on Facebook. For you can win signed paperbacks of French Kissing season 1 and 2. So hurry up, because this one it will run until Monday. I'll pick a winner on Monday. So head on over to Facebook if you see this before Monday. Monday is it 1st of February on Monday? Yeah, Monday 1st of February. So yeah, I'm just trying something new on Facebook. Head on over, go and see. Maybe you'll win a signed paperback of French Kissing. Speaking of French Kissing, so yeah, for me, the French Kissing madness has started, even though we're still a month from release. But I revised season 3 this week. It went very quickly. I finished like yesterday lunchtime, because Caroline did a lot of the heavy lifting for me in this. She fixed a lot of issues that normally I should have fixed. After the first draft. So yeah, and I already wrote this on Facebook. It was very emotional for me to, well, it's not the last time I'm going to go over this, but the last substantial draft. And I had tears. We were in the office, in the Lid office, like yesterday, and I came to the last chapter, and I was like, I had tears rolling out of my eyes, and I said to my wife, who sits across from me, I said, look, she came over and she came to dry my tears. It was emotional, because I've spent a lot of time with these characters, and now I won't be doing that anymore. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I really think it's time to stop. The dramatic heights that have been reached throughout the 3 seasons, I don't think I can push them any further. So maybe that was my highlight of the week. It wasn't a sad moment, it was just emotional. And I'm very happy with how season 3 turned out. I think it's a good ending for the whole. It's a trilogy now, I guess, for the series. So yeah, I think I hope you like it, but a little bit more patience. So what else? Seasons of Love is now in Kindle Unlimited. I think has been for about a week. And it's on number 1. Well, as I record this, it's on number 1 in the US and the UK, but I know it's not going to be for long, because I just saw that Georgia Beers has a new book out, so there goes my number one. It's okay. The book is done really well already, so I'm very happy. I could not ask for anything more. So Georgia Beers is very welcome to take my spot. How vain does this sound? No, let's move on. So this week also I've been, well, not actually trying, but doing more research into dictation. I really want to learn to dictate more of first draft. So but when you dictate, like you have to say the punctuation as well, which is something that you need to train your brain to do. So you have to say like open quotation mark, hello, comma, close quotation mark, she said, full stop. So you have to speak like that, which is not natural. So I've been reading from books that I have on my shelf, just to get myself used to that. That was the first step. I haven't gotten any further than that yet because I don't know, it's a bit daunting. I'm so used to, I'm not a huge plotter. I do plot much more now than I used to, but I'm just so used to, like, on my keyboard with my 2 fingers, and then I don't know, something works in my brain and then it just comes out, and I don't know if it can ever be the same with dictation, but we'll see. I don't know. See, I was looking at myself and I lost my train of thought. It's because I'm on my laptop and the camera is there. Okay, look at the camera. Lost my train of thought. So let's move on. Dictation. I'll keep you posted on how that goes. Well, I don't have that many highlights of my week though, so I guess French Kissing 3 was my highlight. It was a slow week. I mean, I'd set aside a lot of time to work on it, and turned out I didn't need that much time. So it was a slow week, which I do need after first draft writing. But last Saturday I did go to see Carol. Now that was my highlight of the week. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a really good movie. They don't make many of those in lesbian movies like that. They were both so good. I was very impressed with Rooney Mara. Well, I didn't know. I mean, I hadn't read the book in advance, but I'm gonna read it soon. And I was really looking forward to seeing Kate Blanchett because she's hot and a bit more cougary. But Rooney Mara, she was good, and they were good together. Oh, it was a really good movie. I have to go see it again. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to spoil anything if anyone hasn't seen it. But all I can say is go see it. I know last week I said we were gonna go to Ocean Park, but we didn't go because on Sunday it was the coldest day, I don't know, for me ever in Hong Kong. I mean, I'm sure there have been colder days throughout the history of time, but it was so cold and it was raining, and it was just, we didn't want to go. We didn't go, and I think a few people did go. I think about 30 people went, but oh my god, I think they had to warm up for 3 days after to get the chill out of their bones, So next time I'll go see the pandas soon. So that's it for my highlights of the week. What's coming next week? Not a lot, because I'm going on holiday. Going to warmer climate. We're going to Australia for 1 week. Looking forward to that a lot. Looking forward to eating oysters at the Sydney Fish Market the most. So next week, well, actually I think the week after is Chinese New Year, which is like the biggest holiday in Hong Kong and China. So that's why we're going on holiday. Well, no, that's not the only reason. The reason why we're going to Australia is because one of our best friends here is celebrating his 40th birthday, and he's celebrating in Australia, and he invited us all to come. And we don't need a lot of excuse to go on a trip, so we're going and staying for only 1 week. So should be good fun. I will try to record some videos when I'm there, but I'm not sure there'll be a Bliss Tell next week. I'll have to see because I don't know how our internet connection is going to be and all of that. So we'll see. But I'll try. Otherwise, I'll see next week. But I think the big thing that's going to happen next week is I'm going to drink alcohol again. It will have been more than 7 weeks. I did have 2 glasses on New Year's Eve, 2 glasses of champagne, which tasted me greatly. But I don't know. It's not something I look forward to, but I know we're going to get on the plane, and there's going to be like a super friendly Qantas cabin crew member. They're so friendly on Qantas. And, it's going to offer me a glass of champagne. I probably won't say no, and yeah, we'll see. I don't have a big desire to start drinking again, which is quite shocking to me, because, I used to drink a lot, and I thought I would miss it so much, but it turns out that I don't miss it at all, actually. What I missed was coffee. I started drinking coffee again a long time ago. But we'll see, I don't particularly feel like having hangovers anymore, And at a party, I found, I can have just as much fun not drinking. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that. So we have some questions from Pat. Hello, Pat. Hope you're watching. Sent a question via email. And she says, have you now acquired the taste of yum cha, dim sum? Having lived in Hong Kong for the last 6 years, and do you speak Cantonese? Well, easy answers, yes and no. I love yum cha, I love dim sum, but I love all food, which is why I'm on a detox right now, which is not to say I'm not eating great food, because the only difference is we're cooking it ourselves. We've been cooking a lot, which is a bit of an issue today because our kitchen is flooded. Oh, my tummy is growling. I hope you can't hear that. I need to have my breakfast still. But do I speak Cantonese? No. I don't. Before we came to Hong Kong, it was a long time ago now, we actually had lessons. We took Cantonese lessons, and we had this private teacher coming to our flat every week, like for 2 or 3 hours, and it was the worst 3 hours of the week for me. I don't know, because, you have to know my wife a little. She likes to do well. She's very competitive. And, of course, she did so much better in the class than I did. And the teacher, I don't know, she called me stupid, she at times she called me stupid. She said, oh, and she couldn't pronounce my name, so she called me Nalu for some reason. My name is not Nalu. It's not anything like it, but she called me Nalu. I mean, my real name. She said, oh, Nalu, oh, you're so stupid. And I don't know, it's like, the Chinese bluntness. Oh, God, it was awful. And I didn't learn a lot of Chinese, Cantonese. It's not a language that you can easily pick up, because you have nothing to hold on to, nothing to recognize. And when we came here, it's so international here. You don't need to speak Cantonese. And Caroline, she speaks a little. She took more classes once we got here, and she took Mandarin as well. So she's better at languages than I am. Well, she was raised in French, Dutch, and English. When she was 10, she was trilingual. So she has an advance there. So we don't speak Chinese, but she sometimes orders in Chinese, in Cantonese, when we go to a restaurant. And but it's difficult to have a conversation when you only know so many words, right? But I don't speak Cantonese, and I'm not going to learn it because I don't need it. I don't need to speak Cantonese. So and it's too difficult. It's just too difficult to learn. So next question. Curious as to what sparks a story for you, a muse. Oh, you said the M word. Don't say the M word. How do you come up with the ideas and various arcs of the story, and how did you know you wanted to be a writer? Well, first of all, I never use the M word. I think the idea of a muse is just, I find it a bit ridiculous, even though I do believe in the magic of writing, and there's an M there too. I believe that I've picked this up from Joanna Penn in her podcast, in the emergence of story when you're writing. That when you sit down and do the work and trust the process, that that the story will emerge. The story that before you start writing it, I mean, you have an idea, but you never know. I mean, I don't, and I think a lot of writers don't. You never know the exact full story, right? You have to trust. Well, you could call it the muse, I guess, but just, I don't know. The idea of muse has just always kind of eluded me. But I never have issue coming up with storylines, I mean, I have a very, I wrote this down. I have a very well developed dramatic streak. So I think that comes through most in French kissing. And but I do get ideas from television, like Far From the World We Know. The storyline and the setting, it takes elements from both Broadchurch, UK version. I don't even. Anyway, let's not digress. Broadchurch and Friday Night Lights. But I'm not going to go into further detail yet because it'll be a long time before that book comes out. But I have a note on my on all my devices, an Evernote, and I keep my ideas there. And just there are ideas everywhere. You can see someone walking down the street, someone a bit out of the ordinary, and you think, what's her story? And then you just I start making stuff up, and I've always made stuff up. So ever since I was little, so. I was always making up stories, and yeah, I hope that answers your question. And I've wanted to be a writer for as long as I can remember. I've already answered this question on Bliss Tell before, so I'll keep it short, but I've always wanted to be a writer. So as soon as I got the chance, and I got the chance here, when we moved here, I grabbed it with both hands, and that was 4 years ago, actually, because on Facebook now, you have these your memories of 1 year or 2 year or 3 years ago. And my very first book, under a different name, not Harper Bliss book, came out early, I think mid-February 2011, so that's almost 4 years ago. So I started writing. I started writing as soon as we arrived in Hong Kong. But that book, I wouldn't recommend it, But it was a learning school. I learned a lot. It was a process, and we even had a book launch party, and I had my friends read from it because I was so scared to read from the book myself. I would do it myself now. I've changed a lot since then, and that was quite something. Anyway, that book. I won't talk about it any further. It wasn't my best, but it's normal because it was my first book. So I've gotten a lot better since then. So, Pat, I hope I've answered your questions. Let me know if I haven't, or if you have any more. And 18 minutes. I want to keep it under 20. I can. So I have to say one thing about Netflix. Up until I don't know, a week and a half ago, I was a Chelsea Handler virgin. I'd never seen anything that she'd done on TV because we don't get E-channel here and stuff. And then I watched her stand-up comedy special on Netflix. Oh my God, I laughed so hard. She is so rude. She is ruder than our Australian friends, which I find very hard to believe. And then I watched her new show on Netflix. She's funny, but she is very rude. I could hardly believe how rude she was. But, I kind of like that humor though. So, yeah, I can recommend that. But that's all I'm going to say about Netflix. Okay, that's it. I don't know how the light is actually here in bed, but anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good weekend. May or may not be back next week, but if not next week, I'll be back the week after. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Bye bye.